Welcome to another lesson. Today we will take a look at the preterite and the imperfect tenses, but we would look at descriptions. This lesson is a continuation of the first 3 lessons on preterite and imperfect tenses, and it can also be found in your book Exploraciones on the pages numbers 10 and 11. The objective of this video is to learn about descriptions in the past. Now, the imperfect with descriptions. When we use the imperfects in the past to talk about general descriptions, we're looking at physical descriptions as one of them. We're looking at states, whether you're married or you are divorced or you are single or something. We also use the imperfect to describe time. We also use the imperfect to describe the date. We use the imperfect in the past to describe our age, and then would use the imperfect as well to describe our height. Examples. Cuando Lisa era pequeña, era gorda y baja. Ahora es flaca y alta. So when Lisa was younger, she was fat and short. Now she's thin and tall. She's slim and tall. Lisa was younger, 1. She was fat, 2, and she was short. So in all that time in the past, when Lisa was all that, we are looking at her physical description. So because of that, we'd use the verb ser in the imperfect tense. That's why we have the verb ser conjugated as era. Now she is, so ahora es flaca y alta. The second sentence. Eran las 4 de la mañana cuando empezó a llover. So it was 4 in the morning when it started raining. We're talking about the time that it started raining. That's 4 a.m. So eran. And then when it started raining, empezó a llover. It's marking a specific time, a specific action. That's the rain which started to fall. And the third sentence we have, era 1937 y mis abuelos tenían 12 años. So we're looking at the year, that's 1937, and we're looking at the age of my grandparents, which is 12 years. So my grandparents were 12 years old. The fourth sentence. El río era mucho más grande, pero ahora se ve muy pequeño. So we're looking at the length of the river. So it was way bigger, it was way longer than this, but now it has reduced, the water content in the river has reduced in size. So we use the verb ser in the past, but in the imperfect tense because we are describing how big the river was and how long and wide it was. Bien, in the final sentence, éramos solteros cuando vivíamos en Nueva York. We were single when we were living in New York. So we are describing our state. We were not married, so we were single, and therefore we would have to use the verb ser in the imperfect tense to describe that particular state. And then we were living in New York, so it was an action that was done over a considerably long period of time. So we use the verb vivir in the imperfect tense. Now the imperfect tense with the weather. When you want to describe the weather in the past, you have to use the imperfect tense, because you'd have to describe an action that started over a period of time, but without a specific beginning, without a specific end. Remember, in our first video, we looked at the imperfect being used to describe actions that are in progress or actions that were continuous in the past. So, hacía mucho frío y por eso nadie estaba en la playa. It was really cold, so because of that, no one was at the beach. When did it start getting cold? We don't know. When did it end? We don't know. So would you have to use the verb hacer in the imperfect tense to describe this type of weather, which is the cold, because it's an action that happened for continuously long period of time without a specific beginning, without a specific end. Bien. In the second sentence, era una sorpresa porque nevaba en el mes de mayo. Here we have a time frame in the month of May. So it was a surprise because it was snowing in May. Antes llovía mucho, pero ya no. In the before, it used to rain a lot. It was raining a lot, but now it doesn't rain so much. So we're looking at palabra clave keyword, which is antes, which is telling us that before now it used to rain a lot. The final sentence, hacía buen tiempo y había muchas personas en la playa. It was a really good day. The weather was really nice and there were lots of people at the beach. We don't know exactly when the weather started being really nice and sunny and warm. We don't know when it ended, but all we know is that that's how the weather was like at that particular for that particular period in time. Bien, this marks the end of today's lesson. Muchas gracias y hasta la próxima.